Welcome to Actually Controller, the podcast that is actually Controller, and we are actually in control of everything you are hearing right now. I'm so very sorry. Hello!
Hello!
What up? Hi! Welcome back to Actually Controller. You got Steve?
Hi.
Chad.
Sorry. I'm Jeff.
Chris.
Hey, thanks. And it's so nice to have the so sorry back.
So sorry.
We did that in spirit of you
Yeah.
Yeah, hi.
last week.
Oh, yeah, did you? Oh.
Yeah, we did that
I
in
missed
spirit
it,
of you.
though. I was a little late.
It's okay.
So if you caught our last episode, you know that in this upcoming week, we're going to be playing out with the band.
Poet.
With the band.
Poet.
I'm sorry,
with the band.
the band Poet. No, Poet the band.
No, Chris already had that one.
Yeah, Poet the band.
Poet the band.
And,
I'm going to be playing with the band.
at Stan's
Oh,
room
gosh.
on July
Who?
9th.
Poet?
So come hang out with us and
Poet
have a
the
good time.
band.
Poet
Poet the band
Poet the band.
Yes.
is the headliner for the evening.
Yes.
Excited.
July 9th.
July 9th, Sunday, July 9th, out at Stan's room. Ticket link is on the event.
Mm-hmm.
You will have us, obviously.
Mhm.
You will also have CS Nautilus
Yes.
on South Bend.
South
Yes.
Bend.
And then you will have Moments After.
Moments after from right here.
Yes.
Yep.
Fort Wayne, Kindleville area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Yay.
Some other hometown
Here's
heroes.
our friends.
So
Yep.
and in today's episode, we will be going in and over all of the ins and outs of your rituals before show, pre-show, post-show. Rituals.
Definitely pre-show at least. Post-show, I think most of us kind of have the same one. Get the equipment packed up and go die somewhere.
Yeah.
Get a drink.
Yeah, I gotta
Yeah.
hit the merch table.
Hit the
right
merch
afterwards.
table.
Big circle
Get off
of
the stage,
salt.
merch table till the next band starts, and then go pack it up.
Star.
Well,
Okay,
because of the-
internal monologue. We all just want to get the stuff off the stage and then go
Get
die.
the stuff off the stage. There's post show. Get the stuff off the
So
stage.
pre-show, Chad, what do you do?
Depends when we.
I just threw it on him. I just threw it. You know,
You've been doing that to me a lot lately.
I know,
Hey,
I
Chad,
like
what do you
that.
do?
I like that. It's
Chad's
fun.
like, I'm the one who usually already is like the second or third one in the row. Y'all warm the show up for me, and then I jump in. Why am I starting it?
How early? Am I starting my? Well, generally because I'm a night shift worker, I'm waking up in time to
Yeah,
get out
yeah,
to
this
the.
I would
is
I would
true.
say for the sake of the moment your brain goes show day. What am I
Oh,
doing?
that's
So,
definitely when I wake
Oh,
up.
if we're going to that point, then yeah, I got a whole ritual
Yeah.
process that
That's
happens.
what-
If we
that's
were
what I'm
talking like
saying.
literally like 30 minutes before
no.
set
what
time.
do you do to prepare
Okay.
for the show?
Okay,
Like,
so hold up. It's Chad's turn.
Oh, I was just making sure we're all on the same page. But there you go, Chad.
Oh, gee, thanks. I
Clarifying his question.
I'm just not
Good
trying to
Lord.
put you on the spot, but you're on the spot.
I'm on
Here
the
we
Like,
go.
it doesn't
spot.
matter. I'm asleep anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it starts up with normal daily routines,
Mhm.
but I'm ready for a show. So
Okay.
it's getting up, getting dressed, making sure I have all my show gear ready,
Mm-hmm.
heading out. Generally, with load in times being as early as they are, load in, go get something to eat.
Yeah.
Definitely got to have something to eat, maybe a beer or two.
Yeah.
And then I'm just hanging out. I really don't have anything that I have to do anymore. With age, I should be stretching more.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I feel that.
All of us should be doing that more.
And I have had several shows afterwards where I'm like, I should have stretched.
Yeah,
And-
before
or,
getting
and
up.
or hydrate with actual water.
Yes,
I mean,
and
beer
I do
has
try to
water
get
in it. Come on now.
I do try to get around to water. Which last time we played Pierre's, I went up to the bar. I'm like, hey, can I get a water? And he's like, I'm gonna have to charge you for that. I was like, even with me playing, he's like, yeah, sorry, we didn't get the okay to give bands water.
Wow.
Should I tell you what I got told?
What?
We're supposed to charge, but
Are you kidding me?
Well, no, Steve
so
is
being
Steve
more
is a
specific
rock
than
star,
just-
though, man. Anywhere we go, Steve gets all
Is it
kinds of special
from
treatment.
load in to show.
No, that's
From
what is
load
it?
in to show, it's meal, drinks,
Mhm.
checking out the venue, and I do try to make rounds to get an understanding of how the stage
Mhm.
prep is going to be. Are we backlining anything? What kind of space do we have for our gear? Where I need to set up my stuff, and
Right.
because I take part in trying to make sure our IEM case is prepped and ready to go as well. But as far as personal, I hang out at the merch booth for anybody that wants to come pre-sale perusing of our merch items.
And I thank you so much for that.
You're so chill about it all, man. You're not like me at all when it comes to that stuff.
Secretly, I do get some pre-show
Yeah.
jitters, but I think a lot of that chokes up more to the excitement. I'm always excited to be on stage.
Yeah.
So-
I get nervous in nearly all situations. That's why I run down cops and try to invite them to our shows and stuff.
Thank God it's been years since you've done that.
No,
There
but
just
I,
haven't been
I
cops
get
around.
anxious Probably in the last half hour before the show.
I start doing
Yeah.
stupid
That's when it's
dancing.
like, oh, we're doing a show.
Yeah,
Everything else is prep, and everything else is like going through the motions.
Yeah.
I'll stupidly dance around at the merch booth because I'm excited,
Mhm.
and I'm like an excited puppy. I don't know how to express that
Probably
energy.
started the drum set during
He
that.
piddles a little bit sometimes.
I do piddle a little.
That's fair.
We bring his pee pads to every show.
Potty
You just
pads,
don't see it.
Little potty pads.
Yep.
Yeah.
Training potty pads.
Training potty
But
pad.
especially as the time draws closer to our
Checklist for
on
tour,
stage
potty pads.
Yeah.
time, it's like, okay, I'm getting excited. It's like we've got 10 minutes. Here we
That's
go.
about
This
the
is why
time
we
that-
don't give him a lot of water before the show.
That's why beer's better.
Here's what
The piddle pads get expensive real
But
quick.
as far as,
unless
like-
you're drinking Yinling.
as far as like those, I need a few minutes to meditate to calm down. It's like, no, because I want to bring my excitement up on stage with me. I don't want to calm down. I'm ready to amp it up.
That's
See, I'm a little opposite of that. I've got to hit that plateau. Like I want to take that energy and excitement, but it has to be controlled. And if I let it just derail what I'm doing, I can play too aggressively. Our tempos get out of control.
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
that's any band. That's honestly not just
Oh, yeah.
Controller or any band I'm in. Just in general, helpful tip and trick
Yes.
is let that excitement and anxiety build, but you have to know how to cap it.
But it's always funny because like that moment that it is our time to get the stuff up on stage, if we're doing a stage swap, then it like everything clicks from that happy energy to business mode to where it's serious, get stuff offloaded, onloaded, plugged in, sound check, let's go,
Mm-hmm.
to back to energy for performance. It's just a
Now, a real quick amendment because I know it was just our rituals of the last shows that we've played recently. Which do you feel your ritual before show is most helpful before you got up to play? Like you felt like once you got up on stage, you were in it because of the ritual beforehand.
no.
You don't know. He just said no.
No.
He just said
No.
no. No. Okay, well then never mind.
Chad
We're
wasn't
not
inspired by Chad at that
I think
moment, so
Jeff's,
no.
That's
Jeff is
fair.
It's-
projecting there. He's
Yeah.
got something there.
I think
Nah,
what
I
gets
just
me
wanted-
going, what gets me going the most is the first moment I get to see the crowd.
Yeah, the audience. Is
Yeah.
it the audience response after first song for you?
Oh, it's audience response right from the first note.
Okay, cool.
during prequel. At this point, prequel, but it's
Yeah.
changing.
yeah,
It is
It
changing.
is going to be changing. Yes.
Yep.
So yes, another reason to come see us in July.
Yeah.
We're going to be changing
Well,
the show a little bit.
Will we?
I mean, we could be.
Whether those are changed or not, we have new songs.
Well,
We do
this
have
is
new songs.
true,
I was
this
going
is
to say,
true.
as far as an actual intro, that's.
I mean, I could rush it and do. a
let's
thing.
not rush.
Let's not rush
We could do it. Hey,
I'm sure we can have something.
or
I'm
you
saying
can
let's
come
have
follow us
the
on
thing, though.
tour.
hashtag.
I will say there is one ritual. If I have been there at the venue for a couple hours, drinking, eating prior, I do like to make sure that I do use the restroom again
Yeah.
before I hit the stage.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Little
do we
boys
ask the
room.
question? Does
Yeah,
that-
we go into the question
does
now.
that include a pre-show shit, Chad?
Oh,
No, pre-show shit is usually before I head to the venue. It is at home unless I've had emergency
question-
situations.
Unless it's also on tour. And then
Yes, on tour.
there is a
oh,
whole separate timing
Uh-oh.
that he has
Yeah.
that he ended up creating his schedule
Yes.
for around all of us.
Oh yeah.
When
yeah.
when to drop a deuce and
Yes.
when is
Yes,
oh, yeah.
I know when. When
So apparently that is a phenomenon for a lot of musicians.
when we are ready for
Yeah.
checkout of our hotel, I let you guys all go. So I can use the
Dang it,
bathroom.
don't tell me this. Now I'm going to be paying attention.
It's like, you guys go check
We'll
out.
be loading up, and I'm like, where's Chet?
He's unloading. You're loading up. He's unloading.
He's on download.
That's not a ritual I partake in.
But
Yeah.
I will say one thing. Doing just like a trip with Steve and I up to Detroit one time, we stayed in a hotel together, and we learned one thing in that hotel room is that we need to bring a Bluetooth speaker with us when
On
we
the
go
next
on
tour.
tour that everybody can sync into to listen to something while
I
they're
was
in the
just
bathroom.
minding my business, hanging out on the bed, and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna head to the bathroom." I'm like, "All right, cool." And then all yours, it's all tile,
Yeah.
so there's nothing
Yeah.
dampening anything. And all of a sudden, I just instantly hear the Bluetooth speaker kick off.
It's
I'm
like,
like, okay, so he recognized
this,
it too.
this is a
Good.
lesson learned for tour.
Turn on the fan. and
Bluetooth.
Turn on the Bluetooth
Well,
speaker.
this
I think that's
hotel
when
didn't
you-
have.
Yeah, there's no fan. It's
there
one of
was
the
no
like.
excess fan.
That's
Yeah.
when you just clap for him. I mean, that's what
But-
we always.
But we
do.
learned a lesson that we're going to take on tour with us. Bluetooth speakers on a shared hotel room is a must.
That way, everybody when they go to the other room of the hotel can rock out to their jams.
That'll be
This is true.
that'll
This
be
is
announcement.
true.
Hey, somebody would turn some music on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no, you're gonna want to turn on some.
Turn on some music. This is about to get aggressive.
All right, Jeff. What is your pre-show?
Why is it
ritual?
me? There's
because
Steve.
I was,
No, because
I'm-
now
I'm
you're
flipping
on the
table
spot.
on purpose.
Man, see this guy.
Hey, you missed me.
So generally, when we have a show day, when I'm waking up that morning, I'm pretty already nervous. So I used to throw up literally before
Yes, you
every
did.
show, man. Like
I
it
know-
used
I
to
know
be
people
a
do that.
serious thing for me.
Moments before show, even.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was him every time.
hmm So usually
I only did that once when I was like
I
really
make a
super
gesture.
drunk.
Anybody knows when I make this gesture who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He does, and he gets hiccups real bad.
I mean, that's fair.
You get hiccups?
No, I don't. I get like vomitous and I get vertigo going, and I feel
Ooh.
like I'm gonna fall off of things.
So that's
So-
why you do the hair thing. You're like, I'm a little dizzy. Right
It's not him rocking out. It's him literally trying to not fall.
It's like, yeah, if it looks like I'm having a good time, that's just me convulsing. It's fine.
as long
But
as
it's
you're still on your feet. We know
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
good.
I can still play. Shut the fuck up. I'm gonna do it.
Time for a wiggle pit.
Yeah, wiggle pit for sure. No, but usually when I get to like any venue, I want to meet the sound people. I want to know the stage people. Like that. I spent so long doing sound at different, well, like at Peanuts too, and then over at Skeletoons, and then back to back with a couple of friends at times over at when Sunset was around still, and even sitting in at Legends when people were not available. So, having a show go smoothly starts with like the stage people who are handling you.
Usually.
And
Yeah.
so it's like I like meeting them, and usually if they're competent, which most times and not they are, it helps me to put my mind at ease, and then I'm actually able to kind of take in the environment and get myself ready
with
for
that.
it. Yeah.
For a local show, it's even better because we generally know each
Yeah,
other.
generally
so we
know.
know the sound guy. We can like, well, how's this going to flow and everything's.
Yep.
Get us all on the same page. When it's not local, then you're trying to understand personality.
Yeah,
you're
and
trying to
then you,
understand
like-
their thought process.
You know, and there's a lot
How
of
can I help that make it easier for you.
it
Yeah.
makes it a lot easier to network then too, because it's like you're already there doing the business with them, so they know that you're already legitimately
usually,
involved. You know,
Do not disturb. I'm
like
sorry.
like legitimately they know you're already involved with like the music scene and whatnot, so there's already a base to start at and talking about, and you know, sharing stories to get just in a
comfort.
yeah, in a good headspace, so that way when I get up on stage, I can forget everything that I just remembered, and I
enough.
can just go off.
Autonomous.
Yeah, and then it's well, because like I mean,
does.
realistically, when you're playing music, a lot of the times it's like you're returning to a place of comfort. You know what I mean? And if you're well versed in what you're already doing. It's just getting to that place where you're allowed to get back to that Zen space. Exactly.
A little bit, yeah, because I mean, first song is
Yeah.
usually, I don't think it's just us. I think it's pretty much every band out there. First song is never going to be your best song of the set.
Yeah, and my head focus a lot of the time is trying to make my head.
Oh, really? You're going to flex like that?
I mean, when you play the first song all the time for 9 years. It tends.
I mean,
it's
that's
much like starting
different.
the show Pinocchio. You don't think that would go off great?
No. I'm not stating
That
it
would be
that
good.
way. I'm stating it in the respect that
Hey, that's
you
video.
don't know, right? Because you may have sound checked, you may have already
Oh, you're
gotten all
terms
that
of-
stuff.
yeah, I got
you don't know exactly how the stage is going to react.
Audible,
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
audio.
and getting
I know what you mean.
back to my ritual,
I
if
was
you
talking
will.
about us.
Yeah.
Back to me.
Back to me.
Back to Jeff.
Focus.
So, but like seriously,
Have you met Jeff? I'm just asking.
continue.
All right, back to Jeff.
What was I gonna say now? Shit.
You're talking about
to that Zen
getting to
moment.
the Zen point back
Oh
on
yeah.
stage.
Okay, so once you get into that Zen moment or whatever, I can only really get there if I feel confident in the entirety of the show. It's weird, not saying that I throw a horrible show if I'm not feeling it, because that's not what's up. But I
about
find it a
those.
lot.
All of you.
I find it a lot easier than to share that energy with like whoever's like watching, who's ever in the crowd and whatnot. If I've gotten to that headspace where I'm no longer nervous, it feels like I'm just in my
Right.
bedroom, just jamming out with my homies. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
When you don't have to wonder what's next because
Exactly.
it's already like part of the feel. Like you know the flow. Is gonna be
Exactly.
great. I
Yeah,
got you.
and then after that, I mean, at the end of show, it's the rush to get off stage fast enough, and wish everybody that's going on stage after you or what have you a good show.
Yep.
all the butt touches and everything.
Yeah,
Yep.
and all
Good
that.
games.
And then I'm allowed to deflate and kind of have a small nervous breakdown in the corner for a little bit and feel better. Yeah, that's about every show.
Fair enough. Chris, mine's very
Good
elaborate,
Lord.
so I'm letting all of you kind of.
Mine does vary depending on what band I'm playing with. For
So
you guys-
obviously this
for
one.
you guys, I tend to try to ignore you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
That's fair.
necessarily go away, but if you notice, I kind of like
You got to be in your own.
I get in my
head
own little
zone.
focus because I already know
Yeah.
I'm going to be like. You don't need to talk to me. I'm already going to be anxious. And
There
if
was
you-
that one
if
time
you're
I
trying
tried to talk
hype me
to
up-
Chris before a show.
If you try to hype me up, I talked about that plateau.
Yeah.
If you're like,
Yeah.
you ready to go? Let's do this. Man. Like I'm internalizing this right now because if you want me to unleash it here, it's going to be way out of control out there. So,
Yes.
but in terms of like actual ritual, mine does start depends
With
on
a
if it's work-
dagger.
if I have to do the work thing, the 9 to 5
Small
first,
sacrifice.
I do have to do because I have so many other smaller components.
Salt circle.
I have to do a lot of like equipment inventory, making sure I have the right kick drum head on, making sure I have the right drumsticks, depending on what.
Make sure you have a throne.
Make sure I have.
Make
It
sure
was
you
only
have.
Make
one
sure you have a
time.
throne.
Fuck you.
Retake.
Yes.
No,
Make
you
sure
gave
you
it
have
an
the throne.
uck. Yeah, you gave an uck. It's fine.
Oh, I thought you said.
Hey,
It only happened
9
once.
years I've only missed 2 pieces of equipment, and that was one. And I forgot
We were
of
in a
all
whole
things,
separate state.
I forgot my kick pedal because I had like 2 hours notice to tell my
mean,
boss,
that's
leave
fair.
work, scramble the band.
Oh, no, and
get
that's
my
a fair
gear,
one.
And drive up to an hour to get to the venue so I can open for a national act. So I was like, I'm not doing anything tonight. We'll take the show. Yeah, let's go. And
I showed up without a band once, man.
I've done that a couple times. Well, that's just because I try to be first. So yeah,
I'm here.
It
They're
starts
not.
with like obviously making sure I have all my gear in play. Depending on how much time I can preload it in my car the night before. But getting to the venue, much like Jeff, like I try to meet with the sound guys. Do we have anybody helping out the stage? How is this going to flow? Checking out the other bands, like meeting them.
It's just like making sure that you're ready to be helpful.
I'm almost antisocial to a point, though, because I'm so focused on making sure everything in my pocket is set up. Because as a drummer, if something's even a quarter of an inch off, it throws you. It really throws you. Like I can end up, I could mention one of our first shows at O's. I was in a really tight space.
Yes.
And I cannot tell you how many drumsticks I dropped because my ride cymbal was literally too far to my floor tom.
Right.
And on one of my sweeps, I would come through and keep nicking it. And
Whee!
yeah.
Kind of like into a ceiling.
Yeah. That broke.
Yeah.
The only other like real ritual I would do is, depending on the show, usually I try to get a drink and a shot. The shot and then the drink I taper until the show.
Yeah.
That way I can have a second drink on stage.
Theoretically.
That's just to help.
Theoretically.
I said depending on the show.
Depending on the
Oh,
show.
so
Unless if it's a
count.
course, like, a birthday show.
No, I've learned that one. I did
Or
that on my
if
birthday,
it's a
too.
show with friends, which is most
I've
of our
learned that
shows.
too on my birthday shows. I actually forbade shots until we took stage.
I
Yeah.
should have probably
on my
done that
birthday.
on my
I was like,
birthday
and I told
show,
people
to be
notoriously
honest.
for buying shots.
Is it recording?
Do not buy me a
Everything's
shot
good.
because I will not take it until I'm on stage. So, of course, then during the hour set, I got like 4 shots.
Yeah.
But that's not pre-show.
That was-
That was wee show.
And really, the alcohol
Yeah.
is more like it helps me hit that plateau because I know that my anxiety is going to get up there. Like, I want things to go well. As the drummer, I want to make sure I'm not screwing anything up because you guys all have to go off of me. There's a lot of strikes. There's a lot of hits. There's a lot of things I do.
However, there have been those moments where you maybe took one too many shots.
I said there's exceptions. There's exceptions.
I'm not saying
And it
every
depends
time.
on the venue. Like that particular venue.
And one
Yeah.
thing
Yeah,
that
it's
really nobody's
I
really
have
hit up
personal
on too
reasons
much
for that,
is
too. Don't put me in my
busting
feelings
your
here.
balls, man. I'm just busting your
Don't
balls.
worry.
where
my
where in the lineup are we performing. It also has
Yes.
a big determination on
Yeah.
how you end up
If you're
spending
going to
your
be
time.
sitting there for the next 6 hours waiting to get up there, you might very well drink an extra
Yeah,
beer.
so
Yeah.
I'm kind of the opposite of Chad. So like I have a cutoff. Like I won't. The exception that
Yeah.
the 90s because of work and everything that day. The 0963 was an exception because I had to eat. I hadn't eaten all day.
Yeah.
But I
936.
tried.
Yeah.
Yeah, 0936.
Did I say it backwards?
Yeah, 963 is what you
I'm on the
said.
spot, guys.
It's all good.
Just
No,
like
but-
the band Poet.
Poet the band. You're gonna make them mad at us.
Dude,
No. I'm just going off of your post.
Keep repeating it.
It's all right.
Keep
We're
going
just
up,
a
'cause you're
grunge
gonna confuse
band.
people. Anyway, yeah, no. So I don't generally eat like probably 2 to 3 hours before our set.
Mm.
So if we're closing out the night, and I know we're not going to play till like 10 or 11, yeah, I might have something like 7 or 8.
Mhm.
But if we're opening, sometimes I'll skip a meal until.
Oh yeah, no, and I do the same thing.
So-
Unless it's a situation where I really regret, like the
a
last
lot
beer
of
show.
a lot of times that's my breakfast though because I am a night shift worker. I'm getting up and heading to the venue right away. So it's like I get there, I haven't eaten, I'm hungry.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
It also depends on what they have to eat because certain
Where we're at.
venues there's like nothing.
Here's
good to eat.
pretzels.
Yeah.
Well, even if I have to step away from the venue area to go get me
Mhm.
something to eat,
Go get some taco
I just
smell.
need to get something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously leading up to the show, that's the moment where we all kind of were backstage,
Yeah.
using a side stage, wherever we're staged at.
Yes.
That's probably the moment where I do try to zone out. Like, I will talk and engage with you guys, but if it's really short, semi-antisocial, like
you got to get your head in that zen place.
You can't, and I'm speaking to you, Bob. You can't sit there and continue to hype me further because I will
Break
out. Because I'm trying to take that energy and just save it for the stage, not backstage. I don't want to like unleash any of that backstage.
Right.
Like much like Chad, I want to give all that energy up once I hit that first note and just throw it out there. So, and then again at the end, being the drummer, I've got to bust my ass to get everything off stage as quick as I can.
Right.
You know,
My challenge is to try to get everything off before one of you guys.
I guess
I
for
do. I
Ooh,
make that my challenge.
he's got a personal
So
challenge.
and I've done that with one of my other bands where I've gone to the point where I've gone off stage, came back, and grabbed an amp or two.
And that's a lot more challenging though for this band
Because we're
given
all
the fact
DI.
that we're wireless
so
and we're
That kinda
cabless.
makes me sad.
so the difficulty with
It's
I
like
think,
I unplugged 2 things and ta-da, I'm done.
the difficulty I think with any show that it's always hurry up and wait. You
I'm
know
on,
what I
Well,
mean?
yeah,
I'm
and
on
that's
cable
literally
coil-
every show
I'm on cable
for every
coiling
band.
while Chris is still unloading.
The only thing I'm doing, I'm like, ears,
Yeah.
ears.
It's like,
They're
how do
here.
you
I gotta go.
Right.
how do you even go about handling the hurry up and wait motif?
Well, and I
You
mean,
know, that's the
honestly,
the
there's
head
been
out-
so many
headspace.
bands. Like Corey Taylor, even in an interview, he goes, as much as I love doing what I do, the money we get paid is not for me to be on stage.
Mhm.
The money I get paid is for all the time that it takes for me to get to a venue and the time I have to wait
Yes.
to get on that,
On that
stage,
stage.
and the time I have to wait after I get off that
So,
stage.
I'm currently in a band that when we do a 4-hour cover set, we have a production about it, and sometimes we're getting there 3 hours before the show, and this doesn't count drive.
Yeah.
So lately we've been playing anywhere up to an hour or more away. So that's 4 hours with drive, setup, sound check. The show is 4 hours, and then another hour tear down and another hour drive back. I'm already at like 8 or 9 hours to play the show.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, no, you're right.
It's a whole day's like event generally, and even afterward you're spent, so there's nothing. You
Yeah.
know.
Well, and
Yeah, by the time I'm off stage and the
he's
the venue is actually done,
Mhm.
I'm getting at home after whatever
Like
equipment
2,
unloading
3,
we have to
4
do.
o'clock in the morning. Sometimes the sun's coming up, and you're like,
Yeah,
let's
it's like
go ahead and
some
get
of the
breakfast.
gear gets put into my garage, some of the
Yeah.
gear gets brought back here. You know, so
That is one thing I do love.
we are
I
doing
can
the
take care of my drums. You guys take care of the other stuff.
yes.
we are doing a
I love
lot
that.
of
I appreciate that.
after show
I do.
Not a
offloading,
problem, man.
and then it's getting home and going. I just need a shower,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm crawling into that bed after taking a handful of pills because I'm old.
I was like taking a hand of what?
Yeah, I was
Taking a
I was wondering
handful
where he
of
was going
what?
with that is. After I give myself a handful and
Handful of-
So this is to recap. My rituals are usually pretty easy. I do like to, I do get anxious. I do try to do the dad role because I'm used to managing other bands and like making sure everything else is clicking, checking on my guitarists, checking on my bassists, not mentioning names, keeping them in line, making sure they're set up. Do you have all your stuff? You know,
Yeah.
are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Is there anything you need before the show happens? That's about it. No
Yeah.
pre-show shit here.
All right, so Steven, since you have
He's a
like an
post-show
entire
shooter.
like itinerary, I'm sure. Here
yeah,
we go.
mine honestly is in a lot of it has to do with because of
Equipment.
the equipment being
Yeah.
split.
Yes.
Equipment.
Mine kind of like Chris with the 9 to 5 day stuff. If that it happens to be a weekday show, that changes the flow comparison to if it's a weekend or something like that. But either way, it right when I wake up in the morning, it's like, okay, I'm the one responsible for typing up the set list, printing those off, making sure that all of that's taken care of, and that we all agreed upon what set list we're actually doing for the night. If we got any like additions that we need to not necessarily guarantee to play, but we're possibly gonna we're definitely a half, or are we maybe a 35 or something like that? Do we need to work for wiggle room? Okay, where's that gonna fall in the set? Get all that stuff taken care of, then make sure that any gear like the IEM stuff or any of that stuff from all of you that may have been over here from a rehearsal that might not be with the IEM system
Right.
is also being grabbed from my side along with my gear, along with we have an antenna for the IEM rack that we haven't found a home for in the system yet.
Yeah, it's
that-
neat and it's triangular.
Yeah,
It's cool.
that needs to make sure that it comes along and everything like that. And then if it happens to be one of those shows that we're shooting on video, I got to make sure that I'm grabbing all the video stuff for it. If it's not, then cool. That's one less step I have to
So
worry
this
about.
this is all pre. Once you get to
This
the
is all
venue,
pre.
though. Once you get to the venue, though.
So when I get to the venue, it's usually a what's our load indoor. Who's the point that I'm having to worry about as far as like stagehand and everything for? Do I have somebody like the last show we were at? We had somebody assigned to us
Yeah.
by the venue of this is your hands. This is who's going to help facilitate
Yeah.
unload the trailer.
This is who you talk
who
to.
knows where your guys' stuff is supposed to be staged at on side stage. So utilize him, even if you guys aren't necessarily needing him to carry anything. He's directing where you're going to side stage everything at. So I'm trying to find out if we got one of those, who that is, if he knows where we're going. Get all that taken care of. Then with where I'm at with everything, our IEM system, all the RF signaling and everything like that, I have to make sure that I understand what frequencies are going to make sure that I put all of our IEM systems on a clean frequency for the night.
Right.
And to minimize as much interference as humanly possible for us, because it's
So
never going to
Steve goes
happen.
hard tech.
Yeah.
He goes hard tech for the band, specifically because he knows how to navigate the majority of it, number one. Number two, he has access to it because he's the guy that brings it generally. Like, he's got the details. Steve has generally always been our detail guy. when it comes to what we need to know, where things are at, he's got that all on lockdown. And
usually, and if I don't
it's a
anymore,
lot.
if it's a local one, sometimes Chris has the info on it and
Yeah.
everything like that.
But as far as the equipment,
Yeah.
everything getting there,
No,
and all our loading,
He's been teaching this young Padawan.
Yeah, because being honest, it's not that I'm upset about knowing the stuff, but it's one of those, we've had enough shows now to where
everybody.
I don't have
That's
enough
fine.
time
That's
once
fine.
we're on stage.
But that brings me back to like our real next goal for pre-tour
Yes.
is that we need to come up with a pre-show checklist.
Yes.
Mhm.
Like gear check, on-off stage check, so that way in those moments when the show's done and I'm holding my pack going, somebody take this.
Yeah,
oh no, and
so-
I get that, and I'm fully on board with that. But I don't think, and it's not trying to knock you. I don't think you realize how much time goes into the pre stuff. Oh, no, the pre-show, like pre-stage stuff. Just because finding the RF floor
Yeah.
alone takes so much time.
Yeah,
to
he
figure
showed
out
me
what,
that on
Yeah,
our
then
last
we
when
show.
gotta
the other
wait
band
to
has to bring their
scan.
PA. I own the PA, so all that pre-inventory check and make sure all. That
Oh no,
gear's
and
working.
I'm not talking even from an inventory. I'm just saying you can only make equipment like that move so fast.
Because of the
Because
amount of
of-
time a scan takes.
Yeah, to scan everything and then having to reprogram each one of the racks, and with the fact that all
And it's
5 of us are on a separate one,
all individual racks.
Yeah,
that's
so-
like 10 minutes each. You know, you're
To
spending
just make
like
sure, and then-
50 minutes right there.
and then all of our wireless microphones having to be scanned and batteried and all of that type of stuff.
So
Just
Your
making
show?
every show.
Every show.
almost 2
And
hours.
it's
of
impossible to
setup.
do anything other than every show because every room has a completely different.
That one
band-
wasn't me.
Yeah, that one was me.
I silenced mine.
It was probably somebody's doing a Happy Father's Day. By the way, we're recording this on
Yeah, we're
Father's
recording
Day.
on
Father's
Father's
Day.
Day.
Happy
So
Father's Day
I was
to
gonna
everybody
call
out
it
there.
I called it Dada Day.
Dada Day.
happy belated.
Today is actually Dada Day.
Yep.
By the
Yeah,
time this
Dada Day.
releases,
We're weeks past, but
happy
And we have
belated
2
Father's
rehearsals
Day.
Day.
for Poet the band. That's what our calendar says.
Yes,
Yep.
this is true.
Happy Dada Day.
yep. So yeah, with the way that all of this equipment works, no matter how high end of equipment you have, no matter how low tech of equipment you have, every room, every town, every place has different Wi-Fi routers and different frequencies going, and there's no way to just set it up
Right.
once and then it be the same thing that's
Search
going to
for-
work
you're
every
searching
time.
to avoid interference every time.
Correct.
Well, I mean, if we were doing like all of our own like amplifiers and wired in, it'd be different. But we're not. So
Correct. With an IEM system, this is the unfortunate nature of the beast.
Yeah.
You have to kind of just battle that component, and it's time consuming, but
Okay,
it makes
so,
everything
So you
easier.
do your scans.
I do my
and You get
scan.
everything set in. You've done your unload. Now you're at the show. You've got all that stuff set aside.
And then I'm unloading all of the merch stuff
okay.
and taking that over, and usually Chad and I
Sometimes you're
are
inventorying it. I caught that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Chad and I are usually over there setting everything up, laying everything out. If it's especially on tour,
Chris, can you
pre-show,
count these
I'm doing
stickers?
a full.
I think I'm missing
Yeah.
one sticker, Steve. Really? Yeah. I need you to count them again. Okay.
Yes.
Dude, that inventory number kept us on track. Like,
It's true.
so yeah, if it's on tour, it's definitely a pre-show,
Count
a full
everything.
inventory count out and
Yep.
everything like that.
Make sure we know how much of what we have because that's like chicken nuggets.
That's our bread and butter for the next
That's
however
chicken
many shows.
nuggets.
Yep.
For those of you who didn't work fast food,
Yeah.
that means it's the easiest thing to snatch.
Yep.
Yes.
So yeah, it's then setting up the merch area, making sure all of that's taken care of. Any type of problem that we might have, square reader is getting taken care of.
Yeah.
Generally,
And-
it likes my phone better.
Yeah, it likes your phone, but yeah, getting all the square reader stuff set up, all the lighting set up, any of that, any cash that we need to do in exchange for if we didn't have lower bills.
He gets
for
he
all
gets
that.
involved with all the running business side of it at
Yeah.
every show.
And then if somebody already else hasn't, like you or Chris, has not gone already to find who's our point for sound and for our like stage side and all that type of stuff.
Again, this is usually why I started that way because I knew he'd be taking care of the other side, and
It can
rather
also
than
be
being
part of our
like,
pre-show checklist that we talk about before.
Yeah.
too.
rather than getting
Jeff,
in the
you're
way.
in charge of finding the sound guy. And
Yep.
Yeah, and rather than getting in the way of something he already knows the count on and
Yep,
what he's
yep.
looking for,
But yeah, and then I'll come and find you, and then it's most of the time, either one of you, it'd be a who am I supposed to talk to once we're getting ready to go? It's
Yep.
less of a me going to meet them and just more of a if I
You've
got a
made
question.
the contact already.
And if anything, if I do feel like I need to go talk to somebody, it's less about I feel like I need to make a point. It's more of a because I'm handing off the tails from our IEM system, who's going to be our stage guy?
Right.
And I want to make sure that we're on the same page before all of a sudden I'm on stage going, surprise, figure this out.
Right.
And everything like that. And
there's been shows where I've gotten there before you, and I've made that
Yes.
contact, and I'm like, "Hey, Steve, that's our stage guy right there. That's the guy we're going to be talking to later."
Yep. Yeah, because occasionally you'll end up. But anymore, that's not the option. Only because I got to come over to your house to get the box.
know.
So you're not getting there early.
We got lucky for 0936. We actually ran into the sound guy
Yes.
Mhm.
the 3 days before, and it totally shifted our thought because we were going to use.
Oh yeah, no, we had
talked about this in
planned a
previous
whole
podcast.
different thing.
And we expected them to have 4 monitors because most venues have them.
Yep.
And he's like, nobody's running 4 monitors. It'd be great if you brought your box. We're like,
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah. All
cool.
right, well, that
Yeah,
makes-
we were
change
only
your
not going to
plans.
bring it because we thought it'd make your life easier. If not, we're more than happy to go the other way.
I gotta say we have really lucked out with some very decent sound guys in the last few shows. Aside from like, the A team of the last
Yeah.
show. Even before then, though, a lot of the
I feel like
Even
we're gonna
before
have
then,
that
though.
for the February 9th show.
Yeah, because one of our good
Because-
buddies is as
Yeah.
far as I'm aware of
Shout
is
out
still
to
should
Adam.
be the point guy
Yes.
now for
Hey,
Stan's
Adam.
room.
And,
Thank
Yep.
you, Adam.
So yeah, but then it's pretty much after all of that said and done. I won't lie. Most of the time, by that time, we're maybe only about 15, 20 minutes before sound check. I don't really have much
and
time.
this is all in case there's no interview or podcast.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had like the very last show.
What do
We
you
had
think?
an interview before we hopped on stage, and that was kind of cool, actually.
It was cool, but it was another part with already and for everybody else,
Trying to
they really
jam
didn't
more
know what was
things
going on,
in.
and that's actually perfect. It's good that the crowd didn't know what was going
Yeah.
on, but it was a complete cluster
Yeah.
behind the scenes of making sure everything was going to happen on
Dude,
time.
and it did
Zipped
though.
all together.
Yep.
And it did though. Like
It did.
That's the quality of the people we've had the opportunity to work with. So
Yep.
I am super thankful for you guys. Thank you
But
guys so much.
yeah,
So-
we're maybe about 15 minutes or so. Then it's sound check. Then pending, like you guys brought up, what time slot we are.
Yep.
If we're opening, if we're later on, or something like that.
Then
we'll
he
really
dad
kind of
taxes Robert's
I'll
fries.
dad tax some
No,
food
no
possibly.
pre-show shit.
No, I'm not a pre-show shitter unless
I'm not a pre-show shitter.
unless it happens to be one of those situations where I did eat and we're definitely at least an hour, if not like an hour and a half set. I might look at it and go, just to be on the safe side.
I think we're 0 for 4. We're the exception to the rule then.
I think we're pretty much the exception to the rule.
Yeah.
Again, kind of a point that was off of recording and everything where Chad's like, unless I got the grumbles going, then that's a whole separate situation.
right.
Yeah.
And I agree.
Some people do though. Like part of their anxiety is obviously getting
Oh, yeah.
the got going and they get super.
Or if
nervous.
you happen to play a show where you have food poisoning at that show,
I
and
don't
then
know.
Yeah.
you just chug half a bottle of Pepto and hope that it takes care of
I don't know
everything
what
for
you're
you.
talking about.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, I already know that for the tour. I've got like a travel bag of like the emergency
We're gonna-
stuffs.
We're gonna have
And
a first
Bluetooth
aid-
speakers.
first aid
Bluetooth
kit full of
speakers.
meds.
Yeah. But yeah, then if it happens to be when we're kind of doing an opening show, then we do the sound check, go over, hang by the merch area usually just for any, like you were saying, some of the pre-sales and everything, where we can kind of just trade off like, okay, you want to go grab some food, go to the bathroom,
Right.
grab a drink, whatever, kind of a tag your it situation, and then get up, do the show, and then, yeah, just the breakdown, rush everything off, go hang at the merch area for the rest of the night. If we're playing later on in the night, though, it's usually hang out at the merch area.
Yeah.
Most-
Almost
yeah.
all of the evening.
Yeah, almost the
Nearby.
whole night. And then
I get a lot more social when it's local though. I tend to walk around.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you
Some
already
of that-
know the crowd.
Some of that quells my anxiety though. Like I don't stay in one spot.
Mhm.
I'll just it's like I'm hosting a party.
Yeah, no
Like,
matter.
oh, yeah.
I'm just running through the room, checking on some friends, talking with them for a few seconds or a couple minutes. Run to another section of the room, talk to some people.
He
making
likes to
sure
be
everybody's
a
comfortable, like
social
hors d'oeuvre.
butterfly.
Yes.
or, you know what I mean?
Social
Well,
butterfly.
and I think I don't want to come across that with the statement that I'm antisocial and I don't want to talk to anybody at the show, because I'm more than happy with anybody that comes up to me that wants to just shoot the crap and everything like that. I'm more than happy to talk to them. But with how much tech prep I always have going in my head before every set, I usually don't honestly put a lot of effort into going and walking the floor and talking to everybody and everything like that, because I'm so in my head.
That's part of my anxiety plateau.
Yeah, like I'm
Same. I have to like if I'm in a place where I don't know people, I like legitimately have to talk to people to make myself calm down.
yeah, and I'm kind of the exact opposite. I'm at the I need to know that I'm continuously running through the checklist for all the tech stuff of the am I going to fail us at any point on the stage, and that's where my anxiety is more at.
Well, so
Did
that's-
I cover the bases for the 5 of us?
That's
Yeah.
where we had talked about our first tour together, and I was like, we paused for a minute, like, do we take our amps? And I'm like, yes, I feel, and this- speaking for me, I feel
Just
we
in
should,
case.
because that becomes like the fail safe.
Yep.
Like, we don't want to show up to a venue 6 hours away because we're on tour and be ready to go, and then something malfunctions.
Right.
Even outside of your control. Obviously, it's
Right.
technology.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you can't find that RF4 where one of our microphone channels is always going to fritz out.
Yes.
What is our backup plan for all that stuff? And
Yeah, and ultimately we did not end up taking our amps on the tour, only
Right.
because the way that Chad and I set up is if my floor system goes out, which is what I DI through our IEM system, if that goes out, having an amp, not
Doesn't
having an
matter.
amp, doesn't matter.
Yeah, because all
I am dead in the water.
Everything else. is in
Period.
there.
If that goes out, and
yeah, if my keys go out, dead in the water. I
and
can't
with
play
Chad,
if my drum, wait, what?
yeah,
anything. Yeah.
and if you
Duct
don't have a throne, you're dead in the water.
Hey,
All of a sudden,
If you don't have
we're a band of a
throne,
drum set and a
if you
singer.
don't have a throne, you're dead in the water. Did
And-
you hear him?
Yeah.
He said it.
Yep. And then with Chad's setup, his amp is literally on his floorboard.
Yep.
So other than having a speaker going into
Yeah,
it, I
I
mean,
just
he
don't
already
have a
carries his
cab.
entire
It's
rig.
mainly for like
Yeah.
stage fun.
Yeah, and so it was more one of those, we didn't opt to end up bringing the amps just because if something, with the way we're set up, not saying everybody, but the way we're set up, if something goes wrong with one of those vital components, having an amp isn't going to end
Yeah.
up doing anything for us anyway. So,
Okay, so-
but yeah, my anxiety resides in the am I taking care of the 5 of us on the stage,
Oh,
and
that's why he's dead.
Yeah.
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 But I mean, being realistic, if
That's why we
I
all
don't,
get yelled at all the time too.
if I don't
Yeah.
take care of those components, though, if I don't take care of those components and you can't hear, that's going to come across.
What are you trying to say?
I'm
Look.
saying if you can't hear because you grab Bob's ear
Oh
pack.
yeah, right. That only happened that one time. And to be fair, I was not nearly
Here's
as
the thing.
drunk as he was.
No, you weren't.
Actually.
Same show. That's probably why I don't remember.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Same show. He's arguing with me. Why am I so quiet? My equipment's not
Hey,
working.
it
You
was-
need to figure out what's going on. I'm like,
I totally forgot that we had names on our ear packs, and I
He just grabs Bob's.
And so when I plugged it in, I'm like, why does everything sound so stupid? Look, all right. To be fair,
To be
you
fair,
just said that
thing.
Bob likes to listen to things stupid.
Actually,
actually, so it was your birthday party, you know, and so
No.
we're
my
like,
birthday
No.
party.
who?
No, his birthday party was at Pierre's.
That's right. That's
No,
right.
this was just a show that
This
we
was
were.
just a show.
Just a show, yeah.
Yeah.
This was a show that almost didn't
Was it?
happen.
Was this, yeah, no,
I'm
this
sure
is
it was
the one
somebody's
we
birthday
were
party.
just filling a date. And
Yeah.
the
It was a date that we had
That's what it
actually
was.
gotten
The
for whatever
headliner-
reason months and months
Right.
prior. It's
well,
like,
because I was on a rampage. I'm like,
yeah,
I had a personal situation. I'm like, screw this. I'm filling every weekend of my life, and I
Right.
almost did it. I could still do it, but
I don't doubt you.
it was the headliner of that had to drop, who also was supposed to provide the PA, so everything
Yes.
got scrambled.
Yeah.
And have the sound guy attached
Day
to it.
of,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I
that
mean,
was
like, legitimately, I found myself with, I don't know, like, you gave me beer, you gave me beer.
it was the Malort.
the Malort really screwed me up.
Don't even.
I'm serious.
I like
So-
the blame.
You like
So-
how I pointed to the wrong. I don't know. By that point, I was like, I don't think I should do this.
Dude, we could honestly
That was it. I said no.
Oh,
we
That
could
was
honestly
funny, though.
blame Austin.
It was.
It was still very funny. Yeah.
We can blame Austin.
Austin is to blame
I
for
had
the
already
Malort.
done 2
Yeah.
shots, 2 drinks, and I literally walked away from the bar. And you guys like, come here, Chris, let's do a shot. I'm like,
that's not my fault that you don't know how to regulate.
It's not his fault that you guys decided to feed him
I had to do a
alcohol.
band shot. I can't say no
Well,
to the band shot.
Just
feel
to
that.
let you guys
See,
know,
I
you
feel
can
that.
you can all be happy to
Solidarity.
know I am not buying
Solidarity.
Malort for anybody again. That
Now,
was
if it's a
one-
free tray that gets handed to us as a band, guess what?
I'm gonna find out who asked
Right.
No, because
There will be
I
violence
know how that's
to
gonna
pay.
work out.
Oh, I'm sure.
One of
If
the
I
band
chose
wives is gonna
violence
walk
this
in and say,
morning.
Here's
This
a free
morning I
shot.
chose
I'm like,
violence.
who told you to buy that? Chad.
no,
Chad said you guys like Malort.
No. What will end up being is Putt will come out to one of our shows and be like,
No.
I want to get you guys a present. Come here.
No, he would.
Come
would.
here.
he would.
Yep.
Austin, you're not allowed to watch this.
You're not allowed to come out to any O shows.
You're just not allowed to watch
Those. I can make
But-
that happen.
Yeah.
Hey,
No,
Controllers play night. Do not let Austin
from now
fight
on, I know where some of the shots go. I know your specific whiskey.
We also know his weird drink now.
I drink beer.
What's my weird drink?
What's your weird
I can
drink?
give you Jaeger. You'd do that.
Oh, we know what
yeah,
your
my-
weird
my
drink
weird
is.
shot.
Yeah,
You've
he's a
done Jaeger
Buka Bomb
with me.
boy.
Absinthe.
I've had one of those in a
Oh,
while.
dear God.
Ooh. Hey, you know
we
what
talked
though?
about a plateau, Jeff. Hold on.
Yeah.
When this whole thing went.
Yeah.
Well, we were just talking about absinthe, though, and you know. Okay, so I would like to say thank you very much for joining
Yes.
on this episode.
So yes, this is
Before
kind of
I
our
get
pre-show
yelled at.
rituals. Real quick side enter point for Bob. Bob's pre-show ritual to disappear a full half hour before
So,
the show.
legitimately,
To get into
he's doing
headspace.
exactly right now what he does at our shows.
Except he
Oh! Just kidding. I love you, Bob.
I'm just gonna sit here on this one.
Anyway, thank you very much.
July
Check out our
9th.
Patreon. Come join us July 9th.
Yes.
Yes.
And,
Sunday.
we
Come
love
see
you
us.
guys.
Come see us Sunday.
We love
Later.
you guys. Bye.
Love you.
Thank you for listening to Actually Controller. If you liked what you heard, please consider following us on all our socials. You can easily find us on all the different platforms by going to linktree/controller33 or scan the QR code if you are watching the video version of this episode. Thank you.